Hey, what's up, y'all? I just wanted to give you an update on this update on this guttate psoriasis flare that I had. This serious, severe guttate psoriasis. I had always my whole life called it guttate, and I guess the proper pronunciation is guttate. But this guttate psoriasis flare that I'm having, um, I'm on. I'm a month in. I think I'm right at 30 days today, and I'll give you a look. I don't know if you can. As you can see, I still have it. Pretty bad, but it's smooth now. Like if you was a blind person, you wouldn't even really know I had it. It's more like a lot of people kind of say it looks kind of like not a lot of people, but the few people that have seen it kind of say it looks kind of like a sunburn. It's not raised and elevated like it was. It's not bumpy anymore. It's not like it starts out as like pustules, like little bumpy pustules. Looks almost like poison ivy or something, and then it flattens out. I just went to another dermatologist, and she said that as it flattens out and gets smooth, that's the sign that it's healing. I'm definitely like in certain components of the light, like at certain angles and certain light angles, certain variations of light, like the light's dimmer and I'm in a certain angle, it doesn't even look like I have it. Um, and if you was blind and felt my stomach, I don't think you'd think I'd have it. So it's still head to toe. I'm not out of the woods. It's still pretty bad. But I slept good last night. I looked disheveled. I realized that. Haven't had a haircut or shaved in a month, and yeah, my mental state was terrible. You get depressed. This stuff's pretty depressing. It's not only that it's so much vanity as far as like being aesthetically a problem, like looking like a monster, but it itches really bad. And in the beginning phases, it burns. Like it feels like your skin's on fire. And like for me, I started like really kind of freaking out, like thinking like, man, like I've got just over 90% of my body. Like this can't be good. This can't be normal. Like, do I need to be in a hospital or or whatever? I started having some pretty bad thoughts. Got pretty depressed. I've lost some weight. But again, I went to another dermatologist, and she said the same thing that the first one said. She's like, look, I mean, you pretty much, your options are you kind of wait a couple of months, you treat the symptoms, try to not, be comfortable as you can, not itch. And then you wait 2 or 3 months, and if it doesn't get better, then they, attack it systemically, which means biologics or some of these newer drugs. And honestly, that's the biggest fear of mine, is that it doesn't go away in 2 or 3 months, and I have to, get on a biologic or something. But she said 80% of the time, it clears on its own, even without intervention. It's just something that has to run its course. So and she put me on an antibiotic. I don't know if I've already said that, but she put me on an antibiotic. She said it's really important to make sure you get rid of the underlying strep infection, which is the cause of this. The reason I'm having this flare is because, I think 80% of the time that people who get a severe guttate psoriasis flare is due to a strep infection. So you get a sore throat 3 or 4 days later. Like if you're watching this and you're going through this, you probably had a sore throat or an asymptomatic case of strep, and it just blew you out. 4 days later, he started getting dots on the top of your chest and just worked all its way down. That's how it happened with me. Happened with me like that the first time. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an update. Like I said, I'm a month in. Way better. If you watched the last video, I was pretty depressed because I was like almost not even 3 weeks in yet. It was getting worse. I knew I had, I'm thinking, man, I got 3 months of this shit. You know what I mean? It sucks, man, because you can't really sleep. You stop eating. You're not eating much. You're depressed. You can't really do anything. Like, the idea of just putting on some clothes and going about your daily business is more than that, because the rash is burning and it's itching and it's everywhere. I mean, you got 85, 90% of my body's covered by this. Thanks to God, like, there's certain areas that aren't. I don't really have it on my face and don't have it on my genitals and things like that. I mean, I'm grateful, I'm grateful for that. But it's everywhere else, so, but yeah, it's better now. Like last night I slept like 9 hours, another thing I'm grateful for is the doctor gave me some anxiety medication. So, man, you can't really sleep, you can't really do much. It's a rough thing to go through. I mean, if you're watching this video because you're going through it because you're like, man, this sucks. Let me look up some information about this. But anyway, just know that you'll get through it. Like I said, the dermatologist told me that And I had read a lot of this stuff. You can read a lot of this information on the internet. You know, about 80% of the time, it typically clears up without any intervention. So, you know, it just has to run its course. If you're going through this, my advice would be to definitely make sure that you treat the underlying infection that you have. Get the doctor to prescribe you a good 10 to 2-week supply of antibiotics to make sure you get that infection out. And then just kind of just let your body run its course. Try to get some cream to, to deal with the itch. That's the big thing. Like, that itch can be brutal, man. That itch can be, I've had some nights where you just can't sleep. I mean, you just itch all night long. And it seems to flare at night as well, which is kind of weird. Like, a lot of times it'll get, like, when I was really going through it bad, like, it would start to be bright red at night. It'd be itching and burning. I couldn't sleep. So I know, like, typically some, the human body maybe tries to fight things at night, like your fever will get higher at night and things like that when you're sick. But I don't know what the deal is, but man, at night, man, it'd just be brutal. So I wasn't sleeping much. When I first started, the first couple of weeks, that's all I was doing was sleeping. But then the last couple of weeks, it's just like I wake up every hour, having to just take bunches of anti-anxiety medicine to be able to calm down. So anyway, if y'all going through this, stay positive. I'll give you another update here in a couple of weeks. Let you know. Hopefully this next update I give you, like, I'm going to be looking like a new man. I won't be all crazy looking, and I look mad right now. Like, not mad as in angry, but mad as in mad. But anyway, I'll touch base with y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. God bless.